So, good evening, good evening, good evening. We are back again. The wait is over. The Premier League season starts today, to now. And in exactly 8 hours, 18 minutes, we will be kicking off in our first game of the season. And hopefully, next May, we will be holding this again. Back to back champions is the aim. For the first time in Premier League history, anyway, for us. Hopefully, everybody's all good. Happy Friday. I will be going live on the second channel after this. Savio has just finished his career by joining Tottenham. My baller is now at Tottenham, which is quite tragic, if I'm honest. But anyway, I'm sure he'll play better. He might not win anything, but he might actually have some better performances without a rigid system. But anyway, uh, later on this evening, I'll be on with Rance. That'll be 5 o'clock, I think. So I'll be on with him, and then obviously the watch along normal match day routine's back. Normal match day routine is back again. That's why I've been chilling and enjoying the sunshine. And it's a lot cooler the last couple of days, so that is nice. I do need to go out in a couple of hours, so I'll be on there for about an hour, 45 minutes an hour, and then the same on the other channel. Because I need to go and get to my MacBook and see what's happened with that. Anyway, bless up to everyone locked in, man. Yeah, they probably are going to get Marmouche, Tottenham. The stream with Rants at 5 o'clock. Big up everyone locked in, man. Big up Sultan. Big up Elements. Free league, or do you want someone challenging? No, I'd rather just piss the title. That'd be the best scenario. Is we get 12, 15 points clear. It was all a dream. And now I woke up. We don't make things easy at this football club. So even last year, let's just be real with it. Even last year, we had a bit of a wobble. And everyone was doom and gloom at one point. And then we managed to spin it back around. And then obviously that stuck the pressure back on City and they folded. So unlike City, but I haven't seen some of the little clips doing the rounds of the documentary with Pep and Man City. It looked like he'd had enough. It generally looked like he just wanted out. So, yeah, man, I don't give a shit. We won the league. We're champions, mate. Champions, 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 champions. Let's go and do it again. That feeling was nice, right? That feeling was top class. I've seen us win 6 league titles now. Let's go and make it 7. Anyway, we have the coffee on deck. We have the cigarettes on deck. We have everybody locked in. The likes are shocking. Before we get into talking about Bruno, because I've got a whole monologue to go through about protocols and whether it's precautionary and why he's not trained with the group and stuff like that. So it goes on for ages because I've done a deep dive. A deep dive. Yeah, we'll win the league. I think we'll win the FA Cup as well for us. I think we'll win the FA Cup as well. I think we'll do a double. We got real right. Bosh. We got Twisted Baba as well. Yeah, to be honest, I don't think we'll slap them. It'd be nice to, though. I think maybe 3-0. But it'd be... Listen, they got nothing to lose. In fact, we might as well start with that. They got nothing to lose. Yeah, they're not expected to get anything. And just because they're not expected doesn't mean they can't. Like, we weren't expected to be in a title race. Well, it's Arsenal Football Club, we are. So, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Wan-Bissaka has signed for Villa. Signed for Villa. Announced, signed, sealed, delivered. Artemelo is a free agent, guys. Terminated his contract at Juve. Man City are signing a geezer called Allen. Savio replacement. So, yeah, man. And that is pretty much all we have so far. What else do we have? Adam Walton will not leave this summer, says Pierre Sagier. I don't know how you say his name. It looks a bundle of joy. Crystal Palace, Axel Disasi, here we go. Wow. How much they got for that? Oh, it's a loan. Salary covered. Fab tweeted a Conky statement. When? Where's that, bro? Can't see that. I'm on Fab's Twitter page now. Ah, there we go. Literally just now. Right. Release a statement. So where's the whole statement? And the new season. Now the goal is to win more trophies. Sustained success is one of the greatest challenges in sport. We're working hard to make that happen in a number of ways. Is that the whole statement? Is that literally the whole statement? And that was it? Or is that just what he's posted out? Not winning a double. You probably said we weren't winning the league last season as well. You can hold that, Evan. Get out of here. We're winning a double, mate. Right. Is that literally all the statement said? Yeah, I need to watch that documentary. I just ain't had time. Savio going for 80 while we're looking to sell Martinelli for 40. Crazy, isn't it? Told you, Man City know how to sell. So did Chelsea. Odegaard is key to us winning the league again. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. I'll tell you why. Because he started in the Champions League final. We lost. He started in the League Cup final. We lost. He started in the FA Cup game against Southampton. We lost. It's almost like he might be the problem. Kai Havertz also started all three of them as well. And let's be real, Odegaard didn't really play half of the season. No coincidence that Odegaard, Saka, and Kai Havertz barely played last season. We won the league. So I don't know. He played well for 45 minutes at the weekend. I thought the first half he was rubbish. Kept giving the ball away. Right, over hit pass, under hit pass. Not necessarily just giving it away, but under hitting a pass on a counter attack, which got everyone back in formation, and then we didn't do anything with it. It's like little things like that are the difference between being a good player and a great player. Yeah, if that was like, listen, I used to cuss out Mesut Ozil all the time because I just thought he was a lazy fucker who didn't want to be here, right? But there was once in that first half at the weekend where we had, I think Zolis brought the ball down, immaculate first touch from the goalkeeper. The keeper pinged it at him. He brought it down the halfway line, yeah, and passed it into Odegaard, I think it was, or was it Madueke? And we fucked that counter attack up. There was another one where all he had to do, yeah, was just pass a simple pass to Madueke. It might have been that one. It was just a simple pass, just put it a little bit further forward. Instead, he underhit it, and Madueke had to check his stride, by which time they got back in position. Not that Madueke probably would have done anything with it, but big up Joel Linton, brother. I said, I miss Brazil now. Mother see get out of it. So that's the difference there. If that was Mesut Ozil in that scenario, that results in a perfectly weighted through pass. Yeah, and we're being on goal. Yeah, he's not got that killer pass in him. And that's why I think Bruno has. Maybe not the like with the elegance of an Ozil or a player like that. But Bruno can pass the ball. Yeah, Bruno can pass the ball. I've seen enough through passes from him. And enough of them, like when Harry Kane drops into midfield and just whips the ball first time around the corner. Bruno does that for fun. Odegaard, no. No, he likes to play it safe. Pick up JW, but if I had a quid for everyone that waffles my name on these apps, mate, I'd be multi-millionaire. Nobody cares, fuck them. You can't waffle about football, so they waffle about other people waffling about football. You got Connor, you got no chance. Yeah, not past it. Exactly. Rob, facts. Absolute facts, Rob. Big up Pajuco, man. But yeah, I think tonight's game, be nice if we went out there and slapped about 4 or 5, even 6. But let's just be real with it. First game of the season against a promoted team. They got fuck all to lose. They're expected to get banged. And if they score, it's probably a miracle. Let's just be real with it. But again, we have to be on job. Yeah, I thought the way we played against Man City in the second half was brilliant. But again, Man City didn't look like they wanted to be there. It's not really how I'm looking at this commentary game off of the back of that. Obviously, I'm confident off of the back of beating Man City, but at the same time, yeah, Man City looked like they couldn't give a fuck. But that may be because we'd run them ragged and scored in 23 seconds, then got a second goal, then came out straight away and got a third goal. So maybe they just thought, oh, fuck this. Yeah, we'll just save ourselves for the weekend and just gave up. I don't know. Maybe it's because we did that, or maybe it's because they're not that good. They've lost a lot of quality in the last couple of years. Yeah, they've lost the manager, they've lost Rodri, Mahrez, De Bruyne, Bernardo, John Stones, serial winners. Yeah, and some of the players they've replaced them with, now they're getting rid of Marmoush, they've got rid of Savio already. Yeah, they brought in Elliot Anderson, who's a massive downgrade on anything they had in midfield. Yeah, they're probably going to bring in Buadi, but again, he's not here yet, so he won't be playing at the weekend. Yeah, got rid of Nathan Ake as well, he's at Fenerbahce now. So yeah, they've got rid of a lot of serial winners at that football club. And beating Man City, I wanted to see a performance. I see a performance. So yeah, our title defence starts today, man. I'm not worried about tonight, even if Bruno ain't playing. Yeah, I think we'll beat him anyway. Yeah, and let's be real. If we can't beat Coventry on the opening day of the season, mate, Jesus Christ, buckle up, because it will be a fucking long season. But I want to see some good football tonight. I want to see quick 1-2 touch football like we see in the second half against Man City. In fact, we see it for most of the game against Man City, to be honest. I just want to see a bit more decisiveness in the final third, because some of the attacks we fucked up. There was one where Odegaard should have passed it out to Zolis in that first half. There was one where Odegaard and Gyökeres got in each other's way. There was one where Gyökeres fucking took some dead touch. Yeah, and then he had to chase his second touch. So, I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to tonight's game. Yeah, and anyone who's going, good luck, man. Get in there, fucking, let's have it, mate. Let's have it. But we know what's going to happen when we win. Arsenal are scary. Arsenal are this. Arsenal are that. All the usual mutants will be out again. And then tomorrow, Man United are playing Hull City at 12:30. Yeah, Zolis has looked all right so far. I'm going to reserve judgment on him, yeah. I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he's as good as Trossard. Yeah, I don't think we should have signed him. But let's see what he does throughout the league season, isn't it? Yeah, pre-season, yeah, like I said, it's about the performances. He's been all right. I wouldn't say he's been shit. I wouldn't say he's been amazing. I'd say he's been all right. Yeah, I didn't watch the Girona game, so I can't comment on that. I see the highlights. He scored a goal that deflected in. But in the other games, up until the Man City game, I don't think he's been that good. Yeah, the Man City game, I didn't see him in the game until about half hour in when Foden pulled him over. Then after that, sets up the goal, and it's almost given him a little bit of confidence to kick on from there. And I thought he played really well second half. Same with Odegaard. Odegaard was crap in the first half. But yeah, he does look a bit decisive. He does. He progresses the ball forward. Yeah, that's the one thing I'll give Zolis credit for so far, yeah? Every time he gets the ball, he does want to go forward. It's just whether that gets coached out of him. Because he does look tidy on the ball. However, is he going to bag enough goals? Well, actually, I suppose if he scores more than one, that's an upgrade on Martinelli. Martinelli scored 1 league goal last season. So, we're seeing it. We're definitely not losing, mate. We're winning this game tonight. The touch he made, Zolis, on the halfway line from David Raya, pinging that ball into him, yeah, it was quality. Yeah, and his first thought, as soon as he deaded that ball, was to turn and go forward. Yeah, that's what I want to see from our forwards. Yeah, I want to see directness. And when I say directness, not just running in a straight line, turning around and running back and passing it sideways. Yeah, I actually want to see a player run at a defender and take them on and have a shot. Or if there's a better option, pick that better option. Don't go for glory yourself like Saka tried the other day. And yeah, okay, it's only pre-season, it was a friendly, blah, blah, blah. There's going to be instances in this season where Saka, Zolis, Gyökeres, Madueke, Eze, Odegaard, Havertz, Martinelli, if he's still here, they're all going to have a scenario exactly like Saka had the other day. All he had to do is square it, cut it back, and we got to tap in. However, I don't just blame him because Kai Havertz's run was fucking brain dead. Yeah, he went to run and then pulled back. By which time, a millisecond's gone. Saka's thought process is now fucking like, well, fuck it, I'll have a shot. And what he should have done, Marino as well. What he should have done, Havertz, is if you're going to make... Well, I say this all the time, yeah? When you watch Erling Haaland, soon as the winger gets the ball, Erling Haaland is running away from where the winger's got the ball. He's running the opposite side. So if Savio was down the right, he's running towards the back stick. 9 times out of 10 he'll do that. Whoever's on the left, Doku, for example, is on the left, he's running towards the back stick to the right. And do you know why? That is why he scores so many fucking goals. Dovbyk does it as well. Yeah, if anyone watches Dovbyk, that's why he bagged so many goals in Spain. Obviously, it didn't work out at Roma. It might do, where has he gone now? Torino or wherever? Might do now. But strikers like that, they've got good IQ. Yeah, because if you're a winger that's got the ball, why are you running in a straight line or running towards the front post? Because the defenders are naturally going to suck into that area. So what you do is you run away from the player with the ball because they're naturally going to suck in, which leaves you with a tap in at the back stick. And that is what Kai Havertz should have done the other day. Yeah, all he had to do was make a diagonal run towards the back stick and Saka could have just whipped it across the ground and he would have had a tap in. Instead, he went to go and then stopped. And that's cool if it worked. It didn't. Because the defenders are naturally going to go towards the ball and go deeper into their box. So if you make the run, like a fake run, and then stop, they've already sucked in, you get a yard of space. I understand why he'd done it. But then, the midfielders were running in. Even if he'd got the ball, he probably would have miscontrolled the fucker anyway. Yeah, and he wouldn't have took the first time shot. He would have tried to be flash with it. So, this is why I want to see more up front this season. Be more decisive. Yeah, they can't make proper runs, which confuses the wingers. And that is why our wingers didn't score so many goals last season. Yeah, or our strikers. Obviously only Gyökeres, but Gyökeres, I'd say, what? How many penalties did he score? 3? Is it 3? How many penalties did Gyökeres score last season for Arsenal in the Prem? How many penalties did Victor Gyökeres score in the Premier League last season? I think it was 3. 3. See? I know ball. Everton, Bournemouth and Leeds. Right, so 3 of them were penalties. He made another goal for himself in that Leeds game. So 10 goals out of 14. Yeah, and I could probably think of another couple more that he actually made himself out of nothing. Yeah, but he makes the runs. The problem is the wingers are so trained to pass, 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 pass. And when it comes off and we see quick 1-2 touch football when we score, it's like, wow, what a goal. We could do that all the time. Yeah, all they've got to do is just get in tune with each other. It ain't difficult. I don't think Gyökeres starts today. He'll put Havertz up front. My starting 11's Raya. Well, it's not my starting 11. This is what I think he'll do. Raya, Ben White, Calafiori, Mosquera, Gabby. If Bruno's fit, he'll probably play. If he's not fit, then Skelly will be in there with Rice, Odegaard, Saka, Zolis, Havertz. The only 2 I consider may be wrong out of that are Bruno. But like I said, he'll put Skelly in anyway. Or Saka might not start. I think Saka will start though. He played about half an hour at the weekend, so I think he'll start, but he won't finish the whole game. He ain't fit enough to play for 90 minutes straight at the minute. So we're seeing it. I'm looking forward to it though. Proper looking forward to it. But yeah, just got to be a bit more clinical up front this season. Yeah, because if we could start whacking goals in, like, and getting games done by half time, I know it's easier said than done. If we can go out there and start blitzing teams like we were doing in 22-23 season, this title will be a walk in the park because there ain't no one near us. Yeah, Zubi could start, to be fair. See, I think Rice should still be on the beach, mate. I can't lie. That guy played 69 times last season for club and country. Going to do the same Haram ball. Probably. Mummish to Spurs. I think that's a good signing for the game. Yeah, no matter what team we put out, we should beat Coventry. Yeah, remember when we walloped up Sheffield United, Burnley, fucking all them lot? Lons, smashing 5-6s after the warm weather training in Dubai. Mad. Mount injured again. Wow. Crazy, isn't it? I run these likes up, man. Come on, we need 100 likes. We do this every day, bruv. If you're in the stream, like it. Let's go, guys. But anyway, yeah, I think comfy 3-0. Thing is, Coventry will ping the ball around, but they've got to try and get the ball. Yeah, they're going to come and sit and try and counter attack. Yeah, which is why we have to be precise around the box. Yeah, we're going to dominate possession. They love the odd chance here and there. Yeah, but it's what it is. I'm going to get into the Bruno story in a minute. So yeah, we just have to be precise around the box. And that's something that we haven't been for a long, long time. Yeah, we take way too many touches around the penalty box. Yeah, so hopefully they've been learning, they've been polishing up in training. It's all well and good putting all these training clips out of Madwakey, Eze, Saka, Jokeris, all scoring goals in training. Yeah, now do it when it matters. Yeah, now do it when it matters. The season's starting. Our goalkeeper's still here, by the way. And if you, I'm not talking about Raya. I'm talking about Tommy Setford. We bought the third choice goalkeeper to loan Setford out. So why ain't he gone out on loan 8 weeks later, 6 weeks later, 7 weeks later? It's a free hit. Keep the score to single figures. That probably ain't going to get double digits. Let's be real. Yeah, get these likes up. Come on, man. Big up to Usman, bruv. Ishmael Assar. Ishmael Assar's decent. He is decent. But too inconsistent to play for Arsenal. Your computer. I'm going to get. Well, I've got a computer already, but I'm on it. I need to go and get my Mac later. But bless up for the super chat, Ishmael, bruv. Ishmael, fucking Usman, fucking. What am I talking about, bruv? Fucking hell. Should we start this stream again? Anyways, let's get into some. See what Fabrizio's tweeting out. Let's see if there's any here we goes yet. Have a look at here we goes. Jose Mourinho. He's been fucking spamming Real Madrid content. Old Fabrizio, isn't he, this week? Vinny Jr. is one of the best in the world, and the best in the world must stay here. Cheers for that, Jose. The Conkeys have said now the goal is to win more trophies. Sustained success is one of the greatest challenges in sport. We're working hard to make it happen in a number of ways. Fantastic. Well, we better win some more then. So when good talking, now we have to put it into action. But yeah, there's no more here we goes, guys. Iriola said that they'll sign some players. Some deals you have to wait until the end. No, you don't. Put the money on the table, you get the player. Not rocket science. Mad. But the end is the important picture. Why do they all sound the same, these managers? The one we'll have on the 1st of September, because it's true, we're still quite thin. Palermo are closing in on Mattia Perin deal from Juve. Nobody cares. Wan-Bissaka's official at Villa. Alan, whoever Alan is going Man City. So yeah. A Rattle Spurs fan. Hey, bro, Savio's good, man. Savio's a good player. Savio's going to smash it at Tottenham, unfortunately. Tottenham have all fucking clubs. Why did my baller have to go and play for Tottenham? So annoying. Right, see what Ornstein is saying. Oh, here we go. 3 hours ago. Ezra Konsa completes move from Villa to Arsenal. Final transfer fee. 28-year-old defender. 51 million plus 4 in add-ons. He underwent his medical yesterday and has now put pen to paper on a 4-year contract with an option of a 5th. He's in line to make his debut at Aston Villa. Wow. It's amazing how many times that happens, isn't it? You sign a player from a club, and then the first game is against the club they've left. Crazy work. Big up to Usman as well for another super chat. Real question, who can beat Arsenal to the Prem? I don't think anyone. I don't think anybody, my friend. I don't see it. I didn't see it. I think I'm Mr. Perfecto. Did Bruno have the same grade hamstring at Newcastle as Saka? I don't know, but he did have an injury last season. Let's have a look. What injury did Bruno Guimaraes have last season at Newcastle? It was definitely hamstring. I don't know if it was a bad one. Yeah, grade 3. Wow. Wowzers. I never knew that. Bruno had a grade 3. Injury occurred in February during the closing stages of a 2-1 victory against Tottenham. A major muscle setback sidelined him for roughly 2 months, causing him to miss 14 games. It's about the same as Saka missed. Made a return in mid-April. Earlier in that same season, he also missed a brief period due to a minor ankle injury and a bout of illness. Going well, isn't it? Big up Elias, brother. Anyway, let's get into talking about this. If Bruno goes down, get another centre-back. Do you know what I mean? Centre-back FC, we're building a wall, bruv. Wait, run these likes, man. Come on, there's over 400 in here. Get these likes up. Mad. Get these likes up, guys. We need the likes liking. Right, anyway. Let's talk about Bruno. I'm going to go through this, yeah? It goes on forever. So bear with me. Right. Let's go. Right. Let me grab that super chat, otherwise it's going to be set for ages. Bless up, brother. Big up Jojo. Tottenham wants to copy us seeing how Jesus and Zinni changed their playstyle by getting City rejects. Hey, leave Savio alone. Savio's my baller, bruv. Shame he plays for them bastards, but Savio is a baller. They've got a few of my ballers there. Fuckers. They've got Madders as well. Bless up, man. I hope you're well, brother. Big up Benji as well. Big up everyone locked in. And now, bless up for that super chat, bro. They're signing 2 good players, though. Plus, they got Tonali. Right. When you see professional players in soccer leagues on the bench with a giant ice pack strapped to their thigh, they're undergoing acute cryotherapy and compression protocols overseen by the team's medical staff. Medical protocols dictate exactly how and why an ice pack is applied to a player's thighs during a live game environment. Pain relief. The main clinical goal of immediate icing on the bench is to slow down nerve conduction velocity. This numbs sharp pain from recent impacts allow players to manage discomfort. Controlling secondary tissue damage. For deep thigh bruises on the quads, immediate ice and compression constrict blood vessels. This minimizes internal bleeding, hematoma size, and microvascular swelling in the local muscle tissue. Preventing muscle guarding. Cold therapy reduces involuntary muscle spasms and guarding that naturally occur to soft tissue injury, preventing basic mobility. Right? It then says, standard sideline application protocol. Because a player's skin can easily suffer frostbite or cold burns from raw ice, league medical staffs follow a highly standardized application routine. Ice is never placed directly on bare skin. It is wrapped in a damp towel, or a player keeps their compression shorts on underneath the ice pack. Crushed ice over gel packs. Professional trainers overwhelmingly prefer heavy-duty plastic bag filled with crushed or flaked ice rather than commercial gel packs. Crushed ice molds perfectly to the massive curved contours of the quads or hamstrings and absorb body heat much more effectively. Why ain't my chat updating? This fucking OBS today, man. What's this doing? And then it's going to throw up about 100 comments that I'm going to have missed. There you go, it's just done it. Well, I'm getting to that, the vibe. I'm getting to that. Bear with me, my friend. We will get there. We will get there, my friend. Right. The ice bag is tightly bound to the fire using plastic saran wrap, i.e. cling film, or elastic cohesive bandages. This applies localized pressure while keeping the ice completely immobile if the player moves off on the bench. Training and returning to play rules. Medical staff must carefully track and clock when a player is actively icing on the bench. The 15 to 20 minute limit. Ice packs are left on the fire for a maximum of 15 to 20 minutes. Icing any longer can cause tissue damage and severely reduce muscle power. The rewarming protocol. If a player is cleared to return to the game after being iced, they cannot just jump back into the court or field. Icing temporarily reduces muscle agility, reflexes, and force output. Protocol requires a mandatory progressive warm-up period like stationary bench bike, riding a stationary bench bike, or dynamic stretching to reevaluate tissue temperature before checking back into play. Right. The removed from play protocol. If the medical staff rules a player out of the remainder of the game, a strict 10-minute on-off cycle is often established on the bench or in the locker room to continuously safely manage pain and swelling. Right? It carries on. This goes on for fucking ages, by the way, but I want to read the whole lot so you understand. Yeah, this may be what's happened, but it comes at the end. It says, we'll read it because this covers every angle, whether he's injured, whether he's not injured. Right. Targeted modern shift versus blanket icing. It's worth noting that modern sports medicine has evolved away from a rest ice compression elevation protocol for general recovery, replacing it with a framework like peace and love, which focuses on active recovery. While players used to ice after every game just to cool down, medical protocols now restrict sideline ice packs primarily to acute impact-based injuries like direct knee to thigh, rather than routine post-workout soreness. Sideline trainers know that over-icing clean muscle strains can easily delay the natural inflammatory healing process. Right. Here we go, guys. In the English Premier League, medical staff adapt general sideline icing protocol to fit football's strict tactical rules and unique psychological demands of 90-minute football matches. 1-minute treatment rule. If a player goes down on the pitch with suspected thigh injury, such as hamstring pull or quads, and receives medical attention, they're bound to the league sideline treatment rule, and it's strict. Once a player receives on-field medical care from the club physio, they must leave the field for at least 1 minute after the game restarts. During the mandatory 60-second window, the medical team immediately applies compression or localized cold packs to assess whether the muscle is merely bruised or structurally torn. Because the Premier League permits 5 substitutes but restricts them to 3 distinct windows during regular play, placing an ice pack on a player's thigh carries serious tactical implications. Right, the out-of-match signal. The second a player sits on the bench and the physio wraps up their thigh with a heavy ice pack and plastic film, it signals a permanent extraction from the game. No re-entry. Unlike sports with rolling subs like NBA and NFL, once an NFL player is substituted and iced, they cannot return to the pitch under any circumstances. 10-second rule. Under the current rules, a substituted player must leave the pitch within 10 seconds from the nearest boundary line Medics cannot begin treating or icing the fire until the player has successfully exited the field. Told you, this goes on for fucking ages, by the way. Shift to advanced sideline compression, i.e. game ready. While standard plastic bags of crushed ice are still used in emergencies, modern Premier League benches primarily use portable cryo compression units. Game ready branded. Okay. Anatomical sleeves. They're specialized form-fitting sleeves wrapped around the entire thigh. Okay. Sleeve connection to dual action pump that simultaneously circulates ice-cold water and applies dynamic pulsating pneumatic compression. This mimics natural muscle contractions to pump swelling away from the thigh and numbing the pain. That's kind of clever. Right. Once the match ends, we're going through this in order of when it happened to now, yeah? Once the match ends, the sideline ice pack is swapped with a structured locker room recovery protocol. Contrast stroke ice baths. Players transition to cold water immersion, i.e. ice baths, or specialized whole body cryotherapy chambers operating at temperatures down to minus 110 to address systemic lower body inflammation. Data-driven customization. League sports science teams track every player's external load using GPS vests. If a winger crosses a certain high-intensity sprinting threshold and reports hamstring tightness, the medical protocol mandates targeted cryocompression regardless of whether a formal injury occurred. So now, can a player train if they come off with an ice pack attached to their thigh? Under Premier League protocol, no player can participate in regular training immediately or the next day as they've come off of the field with an ice pack attached to their thigh on the bench. Phase 1, 48-hour lockdown, no training. The first 48 hours, a player is completely ruled out of any running or team sessions, focusing entirely on pain relief and containing the damage. The clinical goal, limit internal bleeding and swelling. The protocol. The player must follow the modern peace and love framework, the thigh protected, elevated and compressed. Ice is applied 15-20 minute intervals strictly for numbing the pain. Diagnosis. Within this window, once the initial swelling subsides, the player undergoes an ultrasound or MRI scan to grade the tear, grade 1, 2 or 3, which dictates their true time away from training. Day 3 onwards, modified gym training. Even if a player cannot run on the pitch, modern sports science mandates early optimal loading. If they can walk without a limp, sucker, they will report to training ground, but will work entirely away from the squad. So, let me stop right there, because this carries on and on and on. So, we haven't seen him in training all week. Big up Shane, brother. Bless up, man. We haven't seen him in any training clips all week. That's not to say he's not been in training. He's just not allowed to train with the group for 48 to 72 hours. But if it was just a knock and he's fine, and it might have just been a dead leg, then surely he would have been with the training with the group. And he's not been in any of the training pictures. That's not to say that he's not at the training ground. He might have been at the training ground with the team, just not out on the pitch with the team, because he's not allowed. Yeah, and after the time period where he is then allowed, it's quite fucking clear it's not enough for him to be able to go and run around with the players. Probably is his hamstring. He done a grade 3 last season. I didn't even know that until a minute ago, Shane. He done a grade 3 last season in February. Let's carry on, because this goes on, and it's quite interesting to learn all this shit as well. Education is key, guys. Education is key, my friends. Big up Jester as well, man. Big up my sweetie Galen, always. Let me grab these super chats before they sit there forever. All right, big up, man. Big up HMads91. Have this drink on me. Let's forget the past and enjoy the future. Love has. Bash. Bless up, brother. I will have a drink. In fact, I'm going to get a fucking beer now. You stay there, lads. Thank you very much. Smash the like, bro. Oh, ladies likes him, man. Come on. This sort of stuff is actually really interesting to know because we think we know quite a lot about football and all that, don't we? And we think we know a lot about injuries and return dates and all of that. Yeah, and we can all speculate and guess and this and that. Yeah? But when you actually read this stuff, it is actually fucking really interesting. Well, maybe for me, because I'm a miserable old man. But yes, we have a beer. Thank you very much. Bro, it's a Google search. And it's got links to YouTube channels from physios, sports science articles, Princeton Sport and Family Medication, PNEUX, yeah, hamstring injury, football recovery times by grade. It links all the articles next to it. It's pretty cool though. Anyway, so from 3 days onwards, let me grab that super chat as well. Bless up there. Did you see Lego Man's quotes about Australia? I did. What was that all about? I don't understand why he mentioned Australia. I don't understand why he mentioned Australia. I don't get that. He said he knows everything about Australia because he's been there before. Cool. What's the landmass? Tell me the landmass. Tell me the population. Tell me how many motorways there are. I've been to Australia, guys. My good friend Tim Cahill, guys. I don't understand why he mentioned Australia. It was just a bit random. Maybe I've missed something. Right, anyways. So, day 3 onwards, modified gym training. Now, Spain's good, man. Don't worry about it, bro. I hope you're well, brother. Spain's hot. Although it has cooled down today. It's 31 instead of 38. But now, bless up, man. I hope you're good, brother. Right, so, even if a player cannot run on the pitch, modern sports science mandates early optimal loading. If they can walk without a limp, they'll report to the training ground but will work entirely away from the squad. Upper body and core. The player will do heavy upper body weight training and core stabilization. Fuck me, I'll get these words out in a minute. To keep their general fitness high. Pain-free isometrics. The medical team will introduce stationary, non-moving muscle contractions like holding a gentle bridge or light leg press. If a muscle is healing, pulling it dynamically is dangerous, but squeezing it statistically has proven that it keeps the muscle fibers engaged and promotes healing. So am I, Kieran. So am I, brother. Right. Phase 3. Return to run phase on pitch, no ball. Before joining tactical sessions, a player must pass a dynamic physical test. They start with straight line, low intensity jogging on grass. Well, maybe he has done that. We don't know. They progress to high speed running, cutting and changing direction. The rule of thumb, if a player cannot sprint at 100% maximum capacity without feeling tight or hesitant, they're strictly banned from participating in normal team training sessions. That right there, thank you very much. That right there, they are banned from participating in normal team training sessions if a player cannot sprint to 100% maximum capacity without feeling tight or hesitant. He has not trained all week with the group. So he's banned from normal team training sessions because he obviously can't fucking run properly. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we've been hiding him in Colney. Surprise! He starts. Maybe he does start. But the fact he has not participated with the group this week tells me he's injured. By going off of the Premier League protocols that I only found out existed the other day, yesterday, I'm like, well, hang on a minute. Has anyone spotted him in training all week? No. So I did a little deep dive and then found the protocols. So 72 hours, potentially he would be able to go and do low intensity jogging and shit like that. Sorry, day 3 onwards. So for the first 3 days, he can't really do anything. Then he's allowed to do upper body and pain-free isometrics. Yeah. Then after that, he's allowed to return to run, jogging, tactical session, but he has to pass the physical test, i.e. straight line, low intensity jogging on grass, progress to high speed running, cutting and changing direction. Rule of thumb: if a player cannot sprint at 100% maximum capacity without feeling tight or hesitant, they are strictly banned from participating in normal team training sessions. So that's probably why we ain't seen him all week. It just carries on. I'll carry on through the whole thing as well because it gives you the other side in a minute. It'll give you the other side to counter this. Right. Phase 4. Integrated squad training. Only when a player achieves symmetrical strength tested on specialized force measuring machines like Nordboard. Hey, does Norgard own that? Will the medical staff hand them back to the manager? They will typically do 1 to 2 days non-contact training, wearing a different coloured bib so teammates do not tackle them, before being fully cleared for a match. He has not been in training yesterday. I'll be shocked and amazed if he starts tonight. Yeah, it could only be a minor strain, but he's definitely done something, can he? But the thing is, most football fans, including myself, don't know these protocols exist, bro. I didn't know this until yesterday. When you see a player sitting on the bench with an ice pack, you go, oh, that's just precautionary, which it could be. It could just been a dead leg. But depending on how long they have that on for, when you're reading through all these protocols from the Premier League, like, it's now more than just a dead leg, bro. Anyway, the only exception, the precautionary ice pack, right? Only scenario where a player might train within 48 hours is if the ice pack was 100% precautionary, right? For example, if a player suffered a minor impact collision, a mild knock to the muscle, and the manager substituted them purely to prevent a strain, then an ice pack is just managing surface bruising. If a player wakes up the next morning with a full pain-free range of motion, the physio may clear him for light sessions. He ain't been in any session. Right. Bruno Guimaraes remaining absent from the standard squad training all week following his half-time substitution on Sunday is the exact textbook implication of the Premier League's conservative return-to-play protocol. Because he was spotted on the bench with heavy ice packs strapped to his right thigh during the Community Shield win over City, Arsenal's medical staff at London Colney immediately locked down his schedule. The exact sports science reasons behind why Mikel Arteta hasn't allowed him to train normally this week and what it means for his availability points to specific internal guidelines. Eliminating the risk of secondary shear tear. An ice pack applied on Sunday indicates Guimaraes suffered either a minor hamstring pull or a deep quad dead leg. Yeah. If it's a muscle strain, the muscle fibers are currently hyperfragile. The risk: engaging in a standard training session involves unpredictable cutting, passing, and accelerating. If he trains before the micro tears have nipped back together, a minor tightness can instantly turn into a grade 2 muscle tear, sidelining him for 4 to 6 weeks. The action: the protocol dictates complete removal from the squad photos. There you go. And technical drills until he can pass 100% maximum load eccentric strength test. That is what is going on here, guys. That is why he is not in any fucking photo. And listen, it is what it is. We're going to beat Coventry anyway. I'm just going through it for all the people that were telling me yesterday he's not injured. Well, he clearly is. He's likely been doing invisible training. Whilst he hasn't been pictured on grass with the team, it is highly improbable that Bruno has just been resting. Under standard Arsenal medical protocols, he has likely spent the week at gym undergoing isometric loading, isokinetic loading as well, squeezing the thigh muscles against fixed resistance to maintain muscle activation without changing the length of the healing fibers. Yeah, some type of muscular strain, 100%. Hydrotherapy sessions, running or moving in the club's specialised anti-gravity pools to keep cardiovascular fitness high without putting heavy mechanical stress on his thigh. The matchday decision protocol. Mikel Arteta noted in his pre-match press conference, Bruno is evolving really well, but remains a major doubt for the opening Premier League game against Coventry, where he said, against Coventry City, the medical staff will use strict protocol to decide if he can play. He will undergo an isolated physical assessment on Friday morning, so he's probably had that already. The criteria, even to make the bench, Bruno must prove he has an entirely pain-free range of motion, zero localized swelling, and the ability to hit his personal baseline sprinting speeds in straight lines. The verdicts, because Arsenal possess elite midfield depth with Declan Rice, Zubimendi ready to step in, the medical staff's protocol heavy favours caution over risk as it's a long Premier League season. So he could have been doing stuff behind the scenes, which he probably has. Like I said, like in the pool and stuff like that, and with the bands. But the fact that he's not been in any training pictures, yeah, is because they're not allowed to put him in them. Because he can't run at 100%, which is why he's not been allowed to train under the protocol. Which is fucked, because we've only just signed him. So hopefully he ain't out for months. But it should be all right. If it's the same hamstring, which hamstring did he do last season? Was it his left or right? Bit mad, isn't it? Yeah, keep him out of the team. Exactly, topside. 16-day international break starts 21st of September. Don't risk him for the first 5 matches until then. I agree. Totally agree. Big up to Rickan. Yeah, no player's 100% fit, to be fair. They ain't. But at the same time, when they sign a player, they have to do sprint tests and beep tests and all that shit, yeah? So I'm pretty sure that if he can't run to the speed that he did when he did the medical and all of that, yeah, and even they probably do it in pre-season, just getting up to their fitness again. If he can't run to the level that he could when he done them tests, then he shouldn't be playing. So after that, who am I blaming? I don't know. I didn't know that he'd done a grade 3 last season. And then he came back after 14 games, then went to the World Cup. I don't know. Can you blame the manager? I don't know. The same with Timber. Timber knows his body better than anyone. So does Saliba. Obviously, Bruno's eager to play for Arsenal. He wants to play. He wants to be involved in the Community Shield. He wants to play games. So maybe you got to look at the player in this instance. Same with Saka. Same with Timber. I said that last season when some of these players are getting injured. Yeah, you can blame the manager if he knows the player's not 100% fit, like he did with Timber. Yeah, against PSG, not the season gone one before. Yeah, and even this season against PSG in the final. But at the same time, ultimately, the player should be telling the manager, I ain't fucking ready, mate. It's down to the player. The player knows his body better than anyone. Like last season, when Timber played in the second leg, not the season gone, the season before, when we played PSG, he could barely run. He said it on a podcast. And the manager said, you're in, look after yourself. I need you tomorrow. You're in should have said, bollocks, I ain't playing. Yeah, I need to use their common sense. That's exactly what it is. Which left winger should we buy? Abde. And Betis. He's done some shuttle runs. This is what I'm saying. All these players will like be doing their sprint tests and like stuff like that, and like see how much they can load in the gym. They'll listen. They obviously have elite fucking personal trainers and all that shit, yeah. Right, but at the same time, it's a bit fucked. How many times do we sign a player and they get injured straight away? It's annoying. It's actually annoying, bro. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just one of them freak things. Maybe he felt great. Maybe all the tests showed that he was great. Yeah, leading into the game. Maybe he was training great. Maybe everything was fine. And it just went. I don't know. But I'm waiting for Ornstein to post out how long he's out for because it'll be as soon as the starting 11 comes out. Because if he's in the starting 11, I'll be absolutely baffled. Because everything I've just read out there, every single thing I've just read out there, yeah, are Premier League protocols. So if he hasn't done any training with the ball work all week, sprinting and running on grass and tackling and all of that, which he hasn't because he's not been in any of the photos, which is standard. You're banned from you're not allowed in the photos. So if he starts, that means he ain't trained. He's only been doing cryo and like isometric shit in the inside training center, not on the grass. So if he starts tonight, I'll be baffled, mate. I wouldn't even bother risking it. We've got enough players to beat Coventry. We don't need him tonight. Yeah, get him fit and ready for the next game if he's fit and ready for that. If he ain't, then whatever. And if it is a little niggly one and it could go again in a couple of weeks, don't even fucking risk him until after the international break. But the reason I read all of that out was because the amount of people that were in my comment section yesterday saying he's not injured. Well, according to Premier League protocol, it looks like he is. He's not been in the team photos. He hasn't trained on grass. Like, he weren't allowed to train if he's had an ice pack wrapped around him unless we could prove it was 100% precautionary. Then he would be allowed to train. He hasn't trained, and then you have to wait 72 hours before you are allowed to go back on grass. So then he didn't train yesterday. So that's now what, fucking 96 hours. And now the game's tonight. Mikel Arteta said it's just a knock. He's evolving. We will see tomorrow, guys, tomorrow morning. So when he said it's a knock, Jurrien Timber was out for 7 weeks. So I'm expecting about the same. Big up Jay, brother. Premier League don't have international break. Nah, winter break even. F the winter break. F the winter break. We have 25-man squads for a reason, bro. Yeah, just build a better squad. I don't want to see him starting tonight because everything I've just read out there, and I went through it all this morning before I loaded up the stream with the title. Yeah, because I wanted to make sure that everything was legit, and it is. It's all Premier League protocol and club protocols, medical protocols. He's banned from being in the club photos in training if he cannot run at 100% maximum speed. And he ain't trained. He's not been in any photos. So if he has done any kind of training, it's gym work, cryo, swimming pool, shit like that. It's not been anything to do with actual physical playing 7-a-sides, doing rondos, so on and so forth. He ain't done any of that. Which is quite worrying considering we've just fucking got him. Mikel Merino fell over in training, done his shoulder the day we got him. Or the first week training or whatever. Happens all the time with this club. And the thing is, maybe that's because we're training harder than most teams. I don't know. But under Pochettino at Tottenham and at Chelsea, the amount of injuries both of them clubs got when Poch was the manager was crazy because they were running so much. Yeah, so maybe it's our training methods. Maybe that's why we outrun every team pretty much. Maybe that's why we get so many injuries because they've come from a club that do more work with the ball rather than running. I don't know. I have no idea, but they're saying, and it's not even just an Arteta training issue. This is happening with Unai Emery. It was happening with Wenger. Yeah, it's probably the training ground. The same with that training ground, man. I don't know whether the grass is too hard. I don't know. I have no idea, but there's something wrong. Yeah, the amount of players we get injured in training is mad. Big up Mr. Perfecto. Ice on the thigh isn't good enough with history of hamstring injured. But good for you. I think it was the other leg to the grade 3. Let's have a little look. Bless up for that, bro. Which leg did Bruno Guimaraes do his grade 3 hamstring in, left or right? Because this one was on his right. Yeah, it was his left. But again, it doesn't really matter which leg. Yeah, the fact that he's probably done that hamstring now is because he's compensating for the grade 3 on the other one. Yeah, and if you remember as well, when Saka done his grade 3 last season, yeah, he then done an Achilles after that. In fact, was that the same leg? Bukayo Saka done his Achilles. Was that the same side as his grade 3 hamstring? Opposite side. It's no coincidence people that get a grade 3 hamstring injury do an injury on the other side, isn't it? Because they're compensating. That's mad. Both of them opposite side. They're compensating. That is actually wild. So you learn something new every day. Mental. So Bruno's potentially done a hamstring on the opposite side to his grade 3. And Saka done his Achilles on the opposite side to his grade 3. Good luck this season. Big up Leo, man. Big up Leo, brother. What pack am I smoking tonight? I'm telling you what pack I'm smoking tonight. We're smoking the Coventry pack. Yeah, they can hold that. They can definitely hold that. What's this? Bayern director talking about Jamal Musiala. We have known about it the entire last season. It was Jamal's wish to communicate it. Players also knew about it. For us, it's become part of our everyday life. We as the Bayern family stand together. We give him all our support and already have done so and will continue to do so. We're together. He changed something in his medication, which is why these situations become clear. Now we want to get back to how things were before, that these situations didn't happen. Yeah, man's passed out twice, bruv, on the pitch. What fucking medication is he taking? Wow, mad, crazy. Actually insane. But yeah, hopefully that clears up the Bruno saga, because we've just signed a player that everyone thinks is going to start tonight, and he ain't. If he does, we could be in big trouble with that player. He ain't trained all week on grass. And if he has, it's been on his own. So is it really training? Yeah, of course he has, Jaden. Come on, Will, do you know? Yeah, mad seizures and that, man. Crazy, innit? Big up to Lewis Burns. Rewind the stream about half an hour, bro. I went through every single Premier League protocol. Yeah, medical protocol. It looks like he's got a hamstring injury on the opposite side to he done his grade 3 last season. But we'll find out later. Yeah, because these things always come out after the starting 11. They don't come out before the starting 11 unless somebody leaks it. But from based off what I've read on all of them medical Premier League medical protocols, it looks like he's done hamstring. Yeah, you learn something every day. Bro, do you know what? It was really mad, yeah, reading all of that, because I read it earlier and I thought, okay, let me ask that question. Let me go with this one then. Let me do this. And it just kept coming up with them. That's why it went on forever. Yeah, but it's interesting to learn stuff like that, because you just think a player with a bit of ice wrap around his thigh, is going to be fine. Ah, that's all right, he just got a dead leg. And sometimes that is the case. But reading all of that is actually interesting, because unless you can prove that it was just precautionary, which is what the go-to phrase is anytime, oh, we took him off and put an ice pack around him as precaution. What does that even mean? What does precautionary mean? The reason they put an ice pack around it, yeah, right, and the reason they're not allowed to train for 72 hours is to stop a tear. But if they've already got a slight tear in there, they need the fibres to mould back together. Yeah, and then they have to be able to go back onto the pitch. He ain't trained all week with a group. He's banned from being in team photos in training on the training ground. It's protocol. I didn't know that. So when you see a player that's not in training in the pictures, yeah, it means they're fucking injured, mate. Yeah, and I didn't know this as well until I read that. If a player's pretty good to go, yeah, when they're wearing a different colour bib in training, yeah, that means that the other team players, the other squad players, are not allowed to tackle them. I never knew that. You learn something new every day, man. But when Mikel Arteta, we also have a long running history and timeline with this manager telling the world for the last near 7 years, yeah, that he only has a knock, guys. He only has a knock. A knock always ends up being at least 6 weeks. Jurrien Timber, oh, he's only got a knock, guys. He was out for 7 weeks. Come back, played the Champions League final for 20 minutes, missed the World Cup. Bukayo Saka, oh, it's just a knock, guys. England's most important game at the World Cup, he couldn't play it. Didn't get a single minute. Yeah, with that Achilles injury. Yeah, which is mad that Bruno's potential hamstring, we'll find out later. Yeah, if he has done hamstring, yeah, it's on the opposite side to the grade 3, which in a way is probably a good thing, because if you do another fucking grade 3, mate, yeah, you do that, oh my days, bruv. Yeah, you do a grade 3 and then fuck it again. Yeah, your career's nearly done. But the fact it's on the other side is only because he's compensating for the fact that he ain't got that strength in that side anymore that he did before that grade 3. He ain't got the power in that side of his leg. Yeah, and Saka's injury, the Achilles, is on the opposite side to his grade 3. Because again, he's compensating for the lack of strength in comparison to what he had before. Like, and it's mad. And this is what I keep telling people. When people were laughing, saying, oh, what you saying now? He scored against Madrid. And what you saying now? He scored against Fulham when he came back. Yeah, a couple of years back. I was like, yeah, watch the next season, which was last season. Saka looked all right the other day when he came on. But again, when you're running at a centre-back, yeah, you're going to be quicker than most centre-backs. Let's just be real with it. So he did look a bit faster and sharper. But at the same time, him and Declan Rice should still be sat on the beach. We've got enough players in this squad to navigate through the next couple of games without them. And yeah, okay, if we take Declan out of the team, we miss our corner taker. Whoopie do, find another way to score a goal. Yeah, we've got other ways to score goals. And I did tell everyone, yeah, I don't want to be the guy that says I told you, but I did tell you, and I am going to tell you. Yeah, I did tell everyone, when you do a grade 3 hamstring, mate, you're going to get multiple injuries after that on other muscles. I've seen it all the way through watching football for 40 years nearly. Saka's done his grade 3. Since then, he's done an Achilles. He can't play 2 games in a row. We've seen that for Arsenal and England. Yeah? Seen that for Arsenal and England. He didn't start the Community Shield the weekend. He played half an hour. I fully expect him to start tonight, by the way. But I don't think he'll play the whole game. Because I don't think he can play 90 minutes. And if he does, he probably won't start the next game. And if he does start the next game, he'll come off after about 60 minutes in that game, because then that would be 2 90 minutes. With the 30 minutes against Man City, if he plays 90 tonight, then he'll have a 10-day rest. So maybe he will start the Villa game, because it's 10 days till the next game, isn't it? It's a week Monday. Maybe he will start that, because he'll have 10 days to rest and recuperate, which is basically what he needs. Same with Declan. Declan's all singing, all action, 100 mile an hour, covering nearly every blade of grass. At the same time, that guy's had barely any time off and played 69 football matches last season. So, I don't know, man. It's a bit of a weird one. Yeah, we've got a lot of players that are, I mean, even the toppest of tippity tip-top gooners would sit there and say Declan's probably coming back a bit too early. Like, let's just be real with it. How would Giselle do against Liverpool? That's going to be an interesting game, because I actually think that Mateus Giselle's ideal manager for Liverpool. He's a bit like It's a bit like Ragnick and Klopp mixed. Hybrid, some would say, guys. He's a good manager. I don't know. Where is it? Is it Newcastle or Liverpool? Anfield's always hard work for us. Obviously, I'm not Newcastle, but it's hard work for Arsenal. Liverpool should win. They should win. Big up everyone locked in as well. Yeah, smash the likes up, man. How many people got locked in? I'm on with rants later tonight, later this evening. Nearly 500 here. Come on, run these up to 200, man. 31 more likes. Let's go, guys. Big up to everyone who's putting super chats in as well. I think I've read them all. I have read them all. Yes, I have. See, we're on job today. We're on business, bruv. But yeah, I just look here and I just think like most football fans won't know about these protocols because I didn't, and I'll do this as a fucking job. This is my job talking about football. I should know that. Yeah, but I didn't know about these protocols till yesterday. I just thought, oh yeah, it's good Scott. I even said it. I said, oh, hopefully it's just precautionary. Because we get so sucked into some of these phrases they put out there. But then when you actually dive into it and strip the layers back like an onion, you realise why he's not been voted in any team training. It's crazy. After Saka's grade 3 hamstring injury, he had multiple injuries in his hip and opposite hamstring and Achilles. That's what I'm saying, bro. Yeah, because the amount of load, they would say, they're putting on the other side of their body, because it's like Saka is compensating for that grade 3 because his body is not as strong on that side now, on that side of his leg. Yeah, and your power comes from your legs. So Saka's right leg is not as strong as it was 2 years ago or a year ago before he done it. 18 months, whatever it was. When was it? Yeah, 18 months ago, roughly. It's not as strong. So now he's going to constantly get little niggles. Yeah, Achilles injury, a hamstring, tight hamstring. Yeah, he might do another injury on that side. Yeah, he might get a knee injury, a thigh injury. Yeah, I've seen it with Michael Owen, mate. Yeah, I was watching a clip of Michael Owen. I was doing around. So I actually need to watch the rest of that podcast where Michael Owen, Paddy McGuinness said to him, when was you at your ultimate peak? He said 17 and 18. He said, as soon as I'd done that hamstring, yeah, and he went into like detail of how the hamstring works. He said, you've got 3 parts to a hamstring. Yeah, and he goes, basically, the bit I fucking done, my grade, did a grade 3. He goes, basically, that is sewn onto the bottom of my arse cheek. He goes, whereas the rest of it's sewn onto the fucking, like, bottom of your fucking knee or whatever. He said they fucking had to do it. So he said I was never the same again. Couldn't run. Couldn't run. He goes, and pace was one of my biggest attributes. And it's like, I've seen it with so many players. And this is why, yeah, it's okay, we want Saka to start games. That's cool. But if Saka's going to be a hindrance because he's not 100% fit, then start someone else. We know Saka can score a goal. We know Saka can get assists. We know Saka will work his arse off. But the amount of games I've seen Saka since he's had that hamstring injury just not even look like he wants to be on the pitch is crazy. The amount of time. Which game was it? Was it the league? It was the League Cup final. League Cup final. I was like, why is he still here, bro? Why? The League Cup final, he looked so disinterested in that, but that's because he couldn't run. He couldn't run, bro. Yeah, look at the World Cup. The World Cup, he couldn't start 2 games in a row. The most important game against Argentina, he never got off the bench. And whilst that could be good for us going forward as a club, the fact is, Tommy Tuchel had to win that fucking match, mate. And he couldn't rely on one of his better players because he's not fully fit. He weren't fit to even go to the World Cup, let alone play any games. He shouldn't have even gone. But again, it's a World Cup. He wants to go. Tommy Tuchel's going to pick one of his better players. Yeah, but if Saka can go back to a decent level, then we've got a good chance of winning a lot of things this season. I think we'll win the league and the cup anyway, even without him. If he's out for half a season, fingers crossed he ain't. But he was out for a lot of it last season, and we still won the league. Yeah, and obviously the other teams have strengthened. Yeah, but I just still think we're better than everyone right now. Yeah, I think we're better than all of them right now. Yeah, and we've got enough players that can play right wing. As much as I don't want Noni Madueke playing, yeah, he can play right wing. Yeah, we can play Max Dowman right wing. So we can put players out there. Martinelli, he's still here right now. He can play right wing. We've got players that can play that position, so we don't necessarily have to rely on Bukayo Saka week in, week out. Yeah, and this is why I constantly say about getting a better squad. The players that come in should be challenging to nudge out the first team starting 11 onto the bench. Yeah, they should be going in there saying, I'm taking Saka's spot. I'm taking his spot. I'm taking his spot. Yeah, and then you have healthy competition. So then the manager, if you do get a Bukayo Saka out injured or a Declan Rice out injured, yeah, then you've got an adequate replacement in there. Yeah, they may not be that level, but they're close to that level. And that is why you're supposed to build the biggest and best squad, right? And when I say biggest, I mean in terms of quality. Because Arteta was asked, how big do you want your squad or something? And I was like, it's 25-man squad, mate. Why don't you get 25 top draw fucking footballers? Yeah, so then if we do get, like, Norgard played 101 minutes last season in the league because he didn't trust him. In the Champions League and the time when he did play in the Premier League, he actually looked really good. Yeah, which surprised me, if I'm honest. And now he's gone for half the money we bought him for. But these players need to take accountability for themselves. I know they want to play and I know they don't want to let the manager down and all of this and that. But at the same time, mate, you don't want your career done by 26. Michael Owen was fucked by 26. R9 fucked by 26. We've seen so many players, their careers are finished because of one injury. Yeah, which then continues on to another injury, another injury, another injury, another injury. Yeah, Michael Owen. Yeah, let me see if I can find that clip. I think I bookmarked it. No, I didn't. That's a shame. I didn't bookmark it. It goes on for about 4 minutes. It's a 4-minute clip from the podcast. But yeah, basically, he was never the same after 18. He said that his best and his peak was at 17 and 18 years old. He said, like, when I played for Man United, he said I felt physically sick sometimes. At Scholes, he got the ball, and I know that he can drop it where I want it, but I just can't get there. He goes, if I was a proper 100% fucking Michael Owen, he goes, I would have scored a shitload of goals at Man United. And he would have. He was an unbelievable footballer. If he'd have stayed fit and hadn't have done that fucking grade 3 hamstring, we'd be talking about Michael Owen, Premier League top scorer, not Alan Shearer. Yeah, he scored about 150 Premier League goals anyway, didn't he? Let's have a look. How many Premier League goals did Michael Owen score? I think it's 154. 130. 150. Scored 118 at Liverpool. 26 at Newcastle. I forgot he played for Stoke. 1 goal at Stoke, 5 for Man United. Mad, isn't it? He's the youngest player to reach 100 Premier League goals. Still a record to this day, by the way. On back-to-back golden boots in his first 2 seasons. It takes time. No, it don't. Michael Owen's proof of that. It's mad. 150 Premier League goals. If he'd stayed fit, yeah, that guy would have smashed Shearer's record. But he didn't, and he couldn't. And that's what happens when you end up with a big injury, man. And you rely on a lot of your game being based around pace. That's not to say he was a brilliant footballer, but his movement, because of his pace, was so fucking good, man. Michael Owen was sick. Sick footballer. Right. Barcelona has sold a goalkeeper. Dominic Livakovic has gone to Fenerbahce. Here we go. 2 million fee, 2 million add-ons. Plan to sign Oh, sorry. It's the other way. Fucking, I'm reading this wrong. It's the other way round. Barca have signed a goalkeeper for Fenerbahce. When Szczesny leaves next season, that's when he's going to Barca. So I read that the wrong way round. He's signed from Fenerbahce. Crazy. Anyway, listen. I'm going on the other channel for about 45 minutes. Bless up, Lou Dog. So I believe Yamal will pick up injuries by 22. It's the thing with young players. You just got to, like, it's not even just young players, just any player. If they do a massive injury, like Saka did, yeah, you just got to take the hit sometimes. Like, Lamine Yamal's had a few little injuries. Yeah. It's just like, he's so good you can't drop him. I understand that. But sometimes you're going to have to. Barca are wallop half the teams anyway. Because they're that good. They don't need Lamine Yamal playing every week. Big up Darren, brother. Owen was good, but did he have special energy? Like what Arteta said about Calafiori. Yeah, Musiala as well. I've just read something that your director came out. Said, I'll read it again. We've known about this the entire last season. It was Jamal's wish to communicate it. The players knew about it. For us, it's become part of our everyday life. We at the Bayern, stand together. We'll give him our support and have already done so and will continue to do so. We're doing this together. This is the key, crucial part. He changed something in his medication, which is why these situations became clear. Now we want to get back to how things were before, where these situations didn't happen. Wow, what medication, bruv? Jose on Rodri not signing. Rodri's signing was not a necessity. Rubbish. The other day you said that you wanted to sign him and he had doubts. So then you said, well, if he has doubts, I don't want him. That's what you said. We have Chouameni, Camavinga, Valverde, Bernardo, Arda that can also play there. I decided for them to restart from zero. I see their relationship on a daily basis, talking about Valverde, Chouameni. It's impossible to think about what happened last season. It was something normal. They're very good friends. It feels like nothing's happened. Okay. Crucial days for Nico Jackson to leave Chelsea as clubs working on a deal. Aston Villa keen since August 25. If Watkins joins Al Hilal, Atleti are also interested. You watch Arsenal sign a Chelsea scrub. Spurs and Napoli have called Chelsea only consider a permanent exit. One to watch till the end. We'll find out, won't we? Yeah, Jose is telling lies. Yeah, all managers chat shit, bro. Change your medication. Do you know what I'm saying, Merge? Crazy, isn't it? Like the video and follow the ledge. Tell him, brother. Tell him. Bless up, my guy. Big up, Haz, brother. Bless up, my bro. Right, I'm going on the other channel. We're going to talk about Savio signing for the Spurs. We'll talk about Chelsea as well, actually. We'll talk about all of these. Because Chelsea got rid of Disassi today to Crystal Palace. I'm only doing about 40 minutes on there and now I'm going out. I need to go out. I'll be on with Rants in 4 hours. I'll be on with Aroni. Right, let me just make sure I've got this set up for a raid. Yeah, I'll be on with Rants at 5 o'clock. Bless up memes, brother. And then, yeah, the Prem is back. The Prem is back tonight. I'll get some rest when I'm gone, bruv. Come on. I've had a rest. I had pretty much a month off when Arsenal won the league. And went on a mad one. And then I've been chilling for the last month, sat on the beach. Right, Savio signing for Spurs, fuming. Yeah, run the likes up, man. Alvarez to decide his future today, yeah? Where you seen that, bro? Where have you seen this? Right, let's go. 2 likes from 200. I'm going on the other channel. I'll literally be there in 30 seconds. I'm going to grab a beer and I'm off. Bosh. Big up to everyone who's liked, shared, subbed, commented, donated, all that good stuff. Yeah, YouTube mobile app is weird, bro. It just freezes, doesn't it? Hydration drinks, guys. Said pieces. VAR, guys. We're back. We're back again. Yeah, I'll be there in 30 seconds. Love.